1971 Fiesta Bowl is not just another football game. Not to the Western Athletic Conference, Arizona State and Florida State, and all the fans who jammed ASU Stadium on December 27th. To them, it was a whole new bowl game. The arrival of Florida State's football team to the Valley of the Sun 3 days before the game brought out the press, anticipating keen excitement and rough and tumble football. For the moment, even the tee shots in this golfer's capital of the world took a back seat to the pending clash between two great teams. And the Valley was ready for a welcome of its own.
All right, come on, shut up. That's enough. Right down. What's going on?
Fine motel rooms awaited the men from Florida State. Ah, relaxation at last.
Hurry up, let's go. Come on, man, let's go.
Next morning, it was practice as usual in the warm, dry Arizona climate. For Coach Larry Jones and his Seminoles, now is the time to get up for the game. 3 years of advanced planning squeezed into 3 days of pre-game activities for the visitors from Florida State. Arizona hospitality ensured success of the Fiesta Bowl.
Here we go.
Parties, get-togethers, dinners, and gifts, all a part of the Fiesta Bowl activities. Following a keynote address by Attorney General John Mitchell at Camelback Inn in Scottsdale, each player and coach received this beautiful memento of the Fiesta Bowl.
Spread out now, spread out.
Christmas Eve dinner party at the Casablanca allowed the FSU family a quiet gathering prior to the game. Fine food was becoming routine rather than the exception. Every place they visited seemed to provide better food and service than the last. Christmas spirits were entertained with thoughts of trophies under the trees. Christmas morning buffet at the historic Arizona Biltmore gave Florida State players their first glance at their gridiron opposition. Once again, the Fiesta Bowl had a souvenir for the participants.
Don't follow each other around in there.
A 1,000-guest dinner at the Mountain Shadows Resort set the stage for Attorney General John Mitchell's news-making fashion show commentary. Along with Mitchell, Arizona dignitaries included Governor Williams, Senator Fannin, and Fiesta Bowl Queen candidates. Patricia Fierro from Tempe, Arizona, happily accepted the crown of the first Fiesta Bowl Queen, while the Fiesta Bowl trophies await the outcome of the game. The final practice gives Florida State and ASU an opportunity to hone the fine edge of game plans as Christmas spirit and Fiesta frivolity give way to 70-degree sunshine and football madness. Arizona State and Florida State onto the playing field. The Seminoles and the Sun Devils. The team captains meet at midfield for the toss of the coin. Florida State makes the call, and they win the toss and elect to receive. Arizona State quarterback Danny White doubles as the kickoff man. The opening boot of the game is taken by Florida State's Buzzy Lewis on his own 19. He takes it up the far sidelines to the FSU 30-yard line, where he's brought down by Ron Lumpkin. The Seminoles were forced to punt 6 plays later, and here Danny White hits Cal Demery for a 14-yard gain for ASU. Again, the Devils' Danny White back to pass. This time to tight end Joe Petty. Complete for a 22-yard gain as Arizona State's first drive gets underway. 2 more plays take ASU down to the Seminoles' 21. Sophomore signal caller White again hits wide receiver Cal Demery. Good for the touchdown. The game is just over 5 minutes old, and ASU has the 7-0 lead after Don Ekstrand's conversion kick was good. Danny White kicks off again. This time, Barry Smith, a great wide receiver, is on the receiving end of the kick at the 15-yard line. He cranks off a great return yard run down the near sidelines to the ASU 36-yard line before he's bounced out of bounds. It's 1st and 10 for the Seminoles, and refined quarterback Gary Huff gets things going with an aerial to Barry Smith. The wide receiver hauls it in for a 29-yard advance. Florida State knocking on the touchdown door. Paul Magalski carried up the middle twice to take it down to the ASU 1-yard line. Here again, it's tailback Magalski diving over for the tying touchdown. Florida State's barefoot kicker, Frank Fontes, makes the conversion to tie it at 7 apiece with 8 minutes and 13 seconds into the first quarter. The next series, ASU's Danny White hands off to running back Woody Green. He fumbles running off guard, and the Seminoles' John Montgomery pounces on the loose football, giving the Seminoles great field position. On their own 45, Huff uses the Statue of Liberty handoff to fullback James Jarrett. A daring play, good for a 9-yard gain. ASU 46, the versatile Huff tries a short yardage pass to Jarrett. A tough 4-yard gain gives Florida State a first down in ASU territory. 8 plays later, the drive fizzles on the 12-yard line, and Fontes comes in to attempt a 30-yard field goal. It's good, and Florida State leads 10-7 at the end of the first quarter of play. Second period, it's first down on the ASU 47, and sophomore quarterback Danny White decides to keep the ball. He scampers 16 yards down the far sideline before John Lanahan brings him down. 2 plays later, Danny tries the bomb to Joe Petty. The Seminoles are caught interfering on the goal line, and the referees place the ball on the Florida State 1-yard line. All-conference sophomore Woody Green is elected to carry it in for the touchdown. And with the extra point, Arizona State takes a 14-10 lead. For second quarter action as Gary Huff looks for and finds his favorite target. Split in Rhett Dawson. 29 yards of real estate to the ASU 24. The Seminoles take it down to the 8. And the Sun Devil defense tightens up to foil 3 quick pass attempts. The first one deflected by Winland Hall. Barefoot Mr. Fontes back into the game, and he splits the uprights with a 25-yard field goal. ASU still leads 14-13. Devils were forced to punt on the next series, and despite a rush, Huff sets things up with a 29-yard gainer to Barry Smith. Then from the 14, Huff tosses to Kent Gatos. And his halfback option pass to Rhett Dawson is complete in the end zone, and Florida State takes the lead 19-14. Want another look at that? Here it is from the ground level. The pitch out, Huff to Gatos, who spots Dawson open in the end zone for the go-ahead TD. The Seminoles elect to go for 2 points on the conversion. Huff makes it look easy as he connects with Rhett Dawson to make it 21-14. Florida State leads with just over 5 minutes to play in the first half. Again, Arizona State is forced to punt. Then Huff attempts this pass to Barry Smith. Not counting on Mike Pepper coming in to make a great interception, giving the Devils the ball on their own 7-yard line. A series of Danny White passes brings ASU back up to their own 46. Then the young quarterback senses the time is right to try for all the marbles. He does with a completion to speedy Steve Holden, and the wingback shows them his heels as he goes in for the touchdown. The conversion makes it a whole new ball game, all tied up at 21 apiece with just 49 seconds left to play in the first half. With time running out, Huff comes right back with a 46-yard bomb of his own to Kent Gatos, which takes the Seminoles down to the ASU 10-yard line. 2 plays later, Huff again ignores the pressure. And again, it's Rhett Dawson who reels it in for the touchdown. The two teams went into the locker rooms with a surprising Florida State leading at halftime, 28-21. Jimmy Lopez entertains during the Fiesta Bowl halftime as Los Estudiantes Folclóricos de Agua Prieta, Mexico, and Douglas, Arizona keep time to the fast-paced rhythm. As the second half begins, Florida State kicks off to ASU, and sophomore Alonzo Emery hauls in the pigskin on the 3-yard line and returns it up to the Sun Devil 27 on the far side of the field. Another long series of downs is capped by a Danny White keeper, good for 20 yards. Down to the Florida State 18, and ASU is threatening again. 3 plays later, Don Ekstrand, who wears the shoe, makes good on a 34-yard field goal attempt, but Florida State is still in front, 28-24. The Seminoles punt. Danny White tosses one to running back Woody Green. And he breaks his way down the far sidelines to the Florida State 19-yard line before going out of bounds. Ekstrand sets up for a 33-yard field goal attempt. Whoops, the fake is on, and the Seminoles diagnose it. Danny White is thrown for a huge 16-yard loss by James Thomas coming up from his cornerback slot. Florida State takes over on their own 32-yard line. Not for long. 2 plays later, Huff attempts a pass to Dawson, and it's picked off by the second-team All-American Winland Hall. Arizona takes over on the Seminoles 45. Danny White engineers a drive that takes his team down to the 9. Here's a screen pass to Joe Petty, picking up 7 more yards down near the goal line. From the 2-yard line, it's time for Woody Green to do his thing again. Woody hits off left guard into the end zone. Ekstrand's kick is good, and it's ASU 31, Florida State 28, and that's the way the third quarter ended. On the next series, a Gary Huff pass to Barry Smith, good for 16 yards, sets up yet another field goal try. Little Frank Pontus connects his bare foot with a pigskin, and it's good. A 42-yard kick ties the game again at 31 with just over 13 minutes to play. The team seesaw back and forth on the field for a while. Then a Florida State punt is taken by all-purpose back Steve Holden on the 32-yard line. Watch the blocks open up right down the alley. Holden cuts right through the entire Seminole ball club, rushes up the middle 68 yards, a punt return to give the Sun Devils a 38-31 lead with 6 minutes and 7 seconds left to go in the game. The Seminoles came right back. Gary Huff shows his class on this play. A 29-yard completion to Kent Gatos. Another Huff aerial finds Barry Smith, and he's brought down on the Sun Devil 28. 2 plays later, Huff looks for and finds a good old redhead, Rhett Dawson, who happens to be in the end zone. What a catch. Pontus converts, and the score is tied again, this time at 38, with 4 minutes, 44 seconds left to go in the game. On the 8th play after the kickoff, ASU's Woody Green finds a hole in the play and romps 19 yards down to the Florida State 3. Green then takes it in for the score, and Down extra and point after with 34 seconds left in the game gives ASU a 45-38 lead. Gary Huff tries to come back with a series of 4 quick pass plays. 3 of them fall incomplete. 1 is completed, but shy of first down yardage. And ASU takes over. The Sun Devils get the ball with 3 seconds to go. Danny White falls on it, and the first Fiesta Bowl is over with Arizona State the winner, 45-38. The experts described it as the most exciting postseason game of the year. The first Fiesta Bowl game is history. As a contest, men like Senator George Murphy and Jim Finch, general manager of the Minnesota Vikings, referred to it as the most exciting college football game they ever saw. As an event, the Fiesta Bowl broke every first-year record for attendance, income, and press coverage. As a charity, it will make a large cash contribution to drug abuse control. And as a bowl, well, the Florida State coaches and players sum it up best.
Well, I think, of course, the future of the Fiesta Bowl will rest with the hospitality in which it shows to people, and they've been as good as I've ever seen. I've been to about 7 bowl games before, and they've just done a tremendous job all the way from Jack Stewart all the way down. The gentleman that took care of us and showed us around. It's just a tremendous bowl. I don't have the words to express the tremendous job they did of showing us around.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think it's, right now it probably surpasses a few of the other bowls in just this first year. I think it's really going to be a great bowl in the future years.
I think it's got a great future. From what I've talked to the coaches, there have been a lot of bowl games. They've all said this has been one of the most enjoyable trips they've ever had.
I just think it's going to be a great bowl.